What are some interesting life hacks for saving money? I don't smoke but live my financial life as a smoker. Meaning every Monday I transfer the sum of 1 week's worth of cigarettes to my savings account. If people that earn less than me can't afford smoking, so can I. This is a great idea. My husband and I used to smoke, but gave it up for our health and because it was ADJ expensive. That savings disappears quickly to other things. I will have to start doing this. Only drinking water is a solid one. Soda at restaurants or other drinks add up a lot. That and if you drink coffee, brew it at home instead of buying it. Always eat before going food shopping. Don't buy something that you normally wouldn't buy just because you have a coupon. Plus 1000. Right after graduation, I became a slick deals addict. Oh wow. Item that is pretty useless to me is on sale. Better get it. At some point, I found that my whole place was cluttered with stuff that I use once. Now, I'd rather pay full price for an item when I'm sure I want it, than buy on a discount on the hopes I'll want it someday. Funny enough, that is quite cost effective. I can't tell you the number of hard drives I have avoided buying with that strategy. Don't buy the cheapest option. Often the middle priced option will be the best value. Things that are too cheap are worth what you paid for them. Agree 100%. I used to be a dollar store junkie. It took me forever to realize I was basically just throwing handfuls of dollar bills in the trash and cluttering my home with garbage products. Edit. Yes, there are a lot of things that work great from the dollar store, and I still go for DIY supplies. There are some amazing finds, but I still spent years buying products that went unused due to their lack of quality. If you can avoid it, never take out a payday loan. If I were president, governor, or even mayor, I would ban payday lending as far as my reach would allow. There is absolutely nothing right with it. I try to cost things as portions of better or more fulfilling things, i.e. a coffee is 1/10 of a new game. 10 meals out is a weekend away, etc. I've also heard to relate it to your hourly rate. So if you make $15 an hour, you ask yourself if the Starbucks is really worth 20 minutes of your time. I've found as my hourly rate goes up, that's much less effective though. Get yourself a library card. It's not just books, but also movies, workshops, education, software, computer time, music. I've probably saved thousands on all sorts of crap. If it weren't for the library, I probably wouldn't have been introduced to awesome books like American Gods, The Way of Kings, All Systems Down, or The Road. Not much of a hack, but cook your meals at home. I am the laziest Ashley on earth, and as a result, I was spending like $20 per day on food just to avoid cooking. You don't realize how it adds up. Even if you just bring your lunch to work every day, it makes a huge difference. I'm still a lazy Ashley, but now I just cook a big batch of very basic, simple recipes throughout the week and eat them over a few days. Try buying reusable objects in place of single-use ones. It's better for your wallet and environment. Steel water bottles, reusable K-cups, dish towels instead of paper towels, etc. Over time the costs of little things really add up. Water bottles are a huge one. They don't even have to be steel. Companies' events may give plastic sports bottles away for free, and those can work fine until you can afford an insulated or metal one. Learn how to log into your online banking system and review your statement regularly. You'll see how quickly money flows out for coffee, snacks, and unnecessary purchase. Also set a budget and stick to IT. Adding on to this, I set up something called Roundup automatically online through my bank, whereby every purchase I make with my main account is rounded up to the nearest dollar. Then that difference is deposited into my savings account. It's worth checking to see if your bank does this as well. So I'll end up saving an extra $20 or $30 a month without noticing. I don't spend $1 bills. I collect them in a box, and at the end of the year I usually have a few $100s. I save every $5 bill that I have at the end of the day. I started in January and have saved almost $3,000 since. If you can buy a tool to complete a repair for the same price as the repair itself, buy the tool and repair it for free next time. I recently did this with my convertible top. The stitching was coming loose at the seams and a repair was almost as expensive as a new top. I did some research instead and bought a sewing awl, and I finished it in a couple of afternoons. I spent about $30 total for a $1,000 project and now have a tool that I can use for stitching any sort of thick fabrics. I don't anticipate using it much, but even just one more time and I'll be satisfied. When at the grocery, look at the price or whatever unit it is instead of the total price. It's usually posted in one corner. It's not going to save you tons of money, but it does add up. Plus it takes out the guesswork when comparing similar items. Look at store branded food items. Do you really think Safeway, Kroger, Dollar General, Costco, and Walmart all have independent tuna canning facilities? No. They're sourcing the product from over the big three, or however many, facilities that supply the name brand. This goes for the majority of store branded items. Make it a game to find out who has what national name product as their store brand product. Usually paychecks are issued every 2 weeks while bills are monthly. You have to pay bills 12 times a year, but you get paid 26 times a year. So every year you get 2 extra paychecks. Don't spend that money. Use it to pay off debt or put it in the bank. Yes. People so often overlook unit price. It matters. Even if it does cost more to buy a larger jar of instant coffee, for example. That's still cheaper than buying the same jar at the rate of the smaller one. Acting broke. Trust me. Nothing helps you save more than acting broke. And there is a way to do that without becoming a mooch. Eat at home if your friends have a dinner plan at an expensive place. Pre-game if you're going clubbing. And if anyone asks you why aren't you eating, drinking, coming for that vacation, just say you broke. I learned this the hard way. Because I remember becoming a recluse and slowly stopped socializing just because my friends always had these extravagant and expensive plans, and I realized it really started weighing down on me. But eventually I learned that there was no shame in wanting to save money being broke, and definitely none in saying so. Making one extra payment on your mortgage per year will reduce a 30-year mortgage to roughly 17 years. I make it a goal to add 10-15% to a mortgage payment. Sometimes that's easier to digest than thinking about another full payment going out. You can also round up to the nearest $100 or $50 and it'll still take years off of a 30-year fixed. I have a friend who, at the end of each pay period, moves whatever she has in checking into savings. It doesn't matter if she's got $5 or $50 in the account. It goes into savings the night before payday. Pay your savings account immediately and treat it like a bill. Each check $100, $400, $50, whatever you can afford gets put away no matter what. Educate yourself on finance as well. The best way to save money is to be savvy about it in first place. P.S. The amount that they tell you put away, 10%, is not nearly enough. When buying online, leave items in the shopping cart for a while. There is a good chance that the website is tracking this and will lower the price over time to entice you into buying. I've saved a lot by being patient. Like when I got a surround sound amp for $350 that was listed everywhere for $450 to $500. Just by leaving it in the online shopping cart for a week. Easy one: buy your own modem. You can get a good one from Amazon for $100. Internet companies charge you $10 to $12 a month to rent yours. Buy your own. Return the rented one to internet company and get the charge removed from your bill. Pays for itself in under a year. Buy secondhand. Today I have secured myself a solid pine desk for my daughter's room. No marks or damage. For you a cute 10. And a worn once 3-piece navy suit for my son to wear at our wedding next year. Also for you a cute 10. I buy maybe 80% of my stuff secondhand. I bide my time. Wait for a bargain. And I have saved so much money over the years. Don't drink. Alcohol is a money drain. Separate tea out. Use multiple bank accounts. Use one for bullshit money. Use one for rent, mortgage, whatever. Use one for recurring bills, gas, car payment, insurance, bills, etc. You know one easy way to not accidentally blow your rent money on dumb shit? Keep it separate from your go party with Jeff on a Friday night money. Get a hobby that doesn't take a lot of money, like volunteering or doing knitting. Buy defective clothes. They're usually way cheaper than regular clothes and most of the time you can't even tell what's wrong with them. Usually it's just something like the arms being marginally too long or a pattern that was from last season. And even then most people can't tell what's from this and previous seasons. 10% of your paycheck goes into a savings account and 20% to debts. The remainder stays in your checking account to pay bills and entertain yourself. Be disciplined and stick to the plan. If you can. Increase the savings percent. When you have enough savings to fulfill an emergency fund. Start investing. Calculate if you can afford things using these constraints. And if you can't, then don't purchase them. Not exactly a life hack. But this plan will make you wealthy. If you are getting married, send out wedding invitations to every billionaire's address you can find. You have a 50/50 chance that their assistants will just send you a perfunctory gift without ever wondering who the hell you are. Free gifts. And X200B. This tip was brought to you by a random meme I saw 5 minutes ago. Close bracket. If you're in the US and have children and daycare, you can deduct up to $5,000 per year tax-free. My wife's company offers a flexible spending account for this. And they don't reimburse until she turns in receipts. She doesn't ever turn in receipts until late November, early December. So every year around Christmas, we get an extra $5 check. Store brand over-the-counter medications. Allergy meds. Pepto-Bismol. Tums. Martrin. Aleve. Tylenol. You name it. There is a store brand equivalent that is guaranteed to be at least 75% cheaper than the name brand. Just look at the ingredients. They are all the same. Most of them are just Target, CVS, Rite Aid, etc. Buying time on a name brand company's manufacturing process to make their own version of the same DRG for less. Drive slower. You will see an immediate increase in MPG. Your brakes will last longer. Your tires will last longer. You'll immediately be at a reduced risk for an expensive accident. Your engine will be able to go further before needing expensive repairs. Call around for car insurance. Do it right now. I was with Safeco the last 8 years. And happy I was paying less than in previous years. Just called around again after moving and found out I was paying roughly 2.5x what I should have been. It was like over $1,500 more a year. I feel like I've been had. Don't use your main checking account for non-essentials. Give yourself a cash allowance each week. Set it to whatever you find comfortable. And only spend that. Once it's gone, it's gone. And you have to wait until next week. It really helps with budgeting. You know exactly how much you're spending on non-essentials. And you don't need to track every penny. If you're buying something, for example, deodorant, if there is a value pack versus a singular package one, look at the weights and prices of each. It shouldn't be hard to do the math. And see, oh, the single one is $1 Oz but the value pack is $1. 20/Oz. Just ran into this yesterday at the grocery store. Before buying anything unessential, Ask yourself if you'd rather hold that or its value in cash. Living overseas. I spent a lot because I kept thinking in Canadian currency and everything was dirt cheap in comparison. I started thinking in how many t-shirts is this worth and rethought how I spent money. A friend used beer as his metric. A more expensive good quality product will save you money on the long run compared to shitty cheaper versions of the product which you might have to fix more often. Of course. Higher price does not guarantee higher quality, so you have to do your research before purchasing. Sometimes the cheaper option might turn out to be the better product. I haven't seen this in this thread yet. So, reduce your constant monthly expenses as much as you can. Anything that you pay for every single month. See if you can get rid of it. Or get a better price on it. Over time, those savings aggregate and really add up. For example, if you're paying for cable, get rid of it. It costs way too much for what you get and so much entertainment is now available for much cheaper. Or just torrent. This thread is for hacks after all. Get a cheaper internet and cell phone plan. Monthly subscriptions for services are all the rage now because companies figured out that people will continue paying every month even if they barely use the service. Don't fall for that, unless you use that service a lot to justify paying for it every month. It's probably better to drop it and find a per-use option. If you can. Buy electronics refurbished or lightly used on eBay or Amazon. They'll often be quite a bit cheaper a few months after release, maybe with a minor scratch. Certain things probably aren't worth getting used though. Like hard drives and earbuds, EWW. Edit. Also, don't get used graphics card. As being pointed out in the comments. They were often used for crypto mining and are pretty worn out. I saw this on the gaming subreddit once for buying quality games. But $1 equals 1 hour's worth of playtime and kind of applied to everything else. Coveralls for work $120. Therefore I should at the minimum be able to get 120 working hours out of it. I don't make a ton of money. But it allows me to figure what I actually use all the time for work and buy quality so it lasts longer and saves money in the long run.